really proud of our guys to be able to play well, particularly in the middle kind of third of the game. The ability to turn some defense into offense to close the first half and finish a couple plays was really big for us. We didn't rebound great last week in our conference tournament, and I thought today we were much better, especially as the game wore on, much better at controlling the glass. I think we were plus 16, plus 16, which is good. I have to continue to play well, but really proud of the guys and our ability to kind of remain focused, even though we were a little bit skittish early, I thought, and weren't always as consistent as maybe we'd prefer to be. I thought we rebounded the ball well enough to really sustain us, and we ran the floor and finished in transition in a good way. So really, really positive, really happy to win. Obviously, very, very cool to host and to have so many of our fans here, which is a really neat thing. The first time in school history to do it makes it cool, but to play well, to win, and to give ourselves an opportunity to do it again tomorrow night is much, much cooler even.
Yes, thank you. Coach Evans, I'm Pat Connell from Random Sports. I was just wondering, when they narrowed the gap, I think down to 7 late in the game.
Yeah.
And there's a little momentum switch heading to Wingate's way. You guys gathered yourself. I think somebody made it 2, and then it was a turnover to 3. Was that sort of the nail in the coffin for Wingate? Is it something that spoke to your team's poise or calm, or is there a certain play call? What was responsible for that?
Yeah, I think poise and calm are the right words. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that we're always the calmest group in every situation, but we were calm enough and poised enough today to kind of push through that. They made a couple threes kind of back to back, and we got a little bit rushed offensively and didn't make a shot. Not that it was always a poor one. And I do think when you get into that spot, we were up 19 with maybe 12 minutes to play or something like that, you can have a tendency to relax and get a little bit softer defensively, and I absolutely thought we did that. But a couple plays and a couple circumstances that go your way really make it challenging for them to overcome the deficit. And so we need to continue to play well at all times regardless of the circumstances. Hasn't always been a strength of ours. We've played close games over and over and over again all season long, so we're not unfamiliar with playing in tight games, but we want to make sure that we're doing the right things, even up 19, up 15, up 13, so we don't necessarily feel the same kind of pressure and the sort of game pressure that brought to us.
Thank you. One follow-up, and for all the players, each of the players, do you have much familiarity with Wingate coming into this game, other than what you saw yesterday or heard about or saw on film?
I mean, since I've been here, I've never played against them, so this is my first time seeing them. Yeah, I mean, from film, that's our first time really getting a look at them. So.
And to be honest, because it's the SAC, we haven't really seen them on film until this week. So that's unique for us this time of year. Obviously, you go through, I don't know, from January 1st on, right? You're playing teams that you're deeply familiar with over and over. Then the conference tournament is literally the opposite of this. The conference tournament is you're playing 3 more teams that are deeply familiar with you and you of them. And I think it is a unique challenge to kind of refocus in a way. And our game plan is totally a blank slate when we walk into games like this, and it could be the same way tomorrow. We'll find out obviously after this next game.
So given that scenario, is there more strategizing that happens at halftime in the game of a tournament like this, where you've now got 20 minutes of experience playing against them, see their tendencies and see what they're trying to do to you?
I think some of that, and I think some of it's sort of instinctual to these guys. You know what I mean? It's not even so much that we have to do something different in terms of scheme, but now they have a better sense of how good a player Nixon is and how shifty he is. And, okay, Massey goes left maybe even more than I thought. And, okay, his range is better. He's more comfortable, the physicality. You kind of settle into all that kind of stuff. And I thought that's a real strength of ours, to be honest with you, is to sort of download that information, and it's these guys, and their teammates much more than it is us as coaches, to download that information and then play, not even so much different, but understand more and be able to play more effectively. And I think that's why, it's possibly why in that kind of late first half into the early second half, our comfort levels seemed to go up and we got more and more comfortable with how we needed to play.
This question's for Colin. Ever since that Clayton State game at the end of the year, you had a huge role on this team, and I think that's one thing that's made this team successful is the next man up mentality and kind of maybe those unsung heroes who have played big roles. What has allowed you to be ready for that moment like today where you contributed huge in that first half?
I think a big part of it was this whole season, even if my playing time's been up or down, I still am required to be ready all day, every day for practice. And I think that each guy that is on my team, I think they understand that they have the confidence in me that there was, like, even if I wasn't able to do that, there was potential that I would be able to step up. And due to some injuries and some other things that have happened, I have stepped into this bigger role. But I think I've been ready. My role has just changed a little bit throughout this new time where I'm being able to play more. I've always been ready, though.
I think it's important, people use the words unsung heroes and all that kind of stuff, but like the reality is it requires every single one of us, and as much attention and accolades as these two people to my right have received and have earned, no doubt, like we have a bunch of good players. And we have a bunch of players that are willing to play the right way, willing to do the right things whenever they're called upon, and even last week is a good example. Like, we got different people starting. We got people going down. We got people getting in, like all sorts of stuff. But it doesn't matter. If we're willing, and we have been for the most part, if we're willing to step up, play the right way, like we have plenty of guys that can do the job, and everybody will be asked at some point.
Frank, kind of piggybacking off both those points, what's it like for you, with all the success that you've had in your career and all the accolades that Coach mentioned, to not only see the game change when Colin adds what he does, but also how it opens things up for you on both sides of the ball as well?
I mean, for me, this is something I've seen since day one. Like he said, like we all trust in each other. Like we know what we all can do day in and out. And like Coach said, like we 1 through 14 is a bunch of guys that can go. So I think all year that's been like you talk about now how Big C has had to step up. But at the beginning of the year he was playing more and he didn't have, and then it changed. So it's just a big thing about us is just being ready. Just being ready, always. It's going to demand a lot from everybody to be at a championship level team, and that's what championship level teams have. They have everybody that's ready to play. So as far as that, it's no different for me. Like I love playing out there with him or whoever's out there, but at the end of the day, we all gonna go. So that's all we really worry about.
AJ, I wanted to ask you about your mentality coming into and getting through a game like this. Felt like kind of a get-back game for you. What goes through your mind to just keep putting the ball up and finding a way for it to go down?
Just 1 through 14 guys, the coaches, everybody believe in me, especially this man to my right. The whole time he was just saying, keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. So that's the main point for me is belief. Once you got belief, it's nothing else anybody can tell you. I just go out and play my game every day. Got to be confident, and the results is the results. Whether I have 2 points or whether I have 20 points, I just want to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, one more about the rebounding. Coach Evans mentioned that a minute ago. Frank and Colin, 9 and 8 respectively for the game, and the team, as you saw there, had a big bulge, 39 to 23 for
Yep.
Wingate. That's a big difference, and it was a small difference in the first half. But was that just because of the new emphasis on rebounding from last week and last month, or was that something about tonight?
It's nothing new. Especially Coach. He preaches from us day one, rebounding. And like he said, we weren't in the tournament. We weren't as good as we should, or we have been on the season. We're always one of the top rebounding teams in the nation, or in the conference. So just coming in today is just getting a re-emphasis on the principles that win in March: rebounding, turnover, defending, and that's one of the things that we had emphasis on today, and it showed.
I think we controlled the ball better in the second half as well was a big deal. The first half we weren't bad, but we were not as good probably as we need to be, and I thought we controlled the ball better for longer at least.
And almost 80% from the free throw line. That's outstanding, especially when they accumulate so many fouls. Is that, again, something you emphasize? I guess it can change night to night.
I don't know if we emphasize so much literally going to the free throw line, but the way we play really demands that people defend us in a physical fashion. And all three of these guys that are sitting next to me, Caden Charles, those guys play in a fashion that demands that you guard physically and disciplined. And if you're off balance, you're not in position, it's very difficult to deal with us. And so we've shot a ton of free throws all year, really from the start of this thing. We shot a bunch of free throws because of these guys' ability and the way we play, but also our willingness to be physical and on balance. And Wingate does some of that same stuff, to be honest, and so I'm really proud to see us make more than they attempt. It's a really big deal for us, and hopefully we can sustain it again.
One equal question, do you have a preference for who you play tomorrow?
No preference.
Doesn't matter, okay.
Everybody.
Don't matter.
You guys, congrats on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.